Namaste to all of you and welcome from Dhananjay Kumar to this video on the subject of knowing reality and why we failed in this process to know reality. To begin with, let's start with what we see and what we know from what we see. So the way our mind works, of course, it is a subtle aspect of our existence. Gross aspect is the body. But mind has ideas and plans and imagination and thoughts, emotions, and much of that is based on the information the mind receives from the brain. Brain does not interpret information, it only reports the information, and the meaning is given by the mind. You see a flower, but your eyes don't know it is a flower, and your brain doesn't know it is a flower. It only receives the visual input and creates a picture of the color and shape. Then it reports to the mind that I'm seeing this shape and color and this distance and all that. And the mind says, this is a red rose. And I have seen the red rose and I like the fragrance and it's a good gift to the loved ones, and it is grown on the land, it has a flower plant, all the other details from the memory and other information. So mind interprets and gives meaning. Now the brain depends on the 5 senses. Together it is called sensory perception. So the most important perhaps is the eyes. And believe it or not, all of us, each one of us, have a certain degree of color blindness. Some people see some color better and others not. Some people see some other colors better. So we create a colorful image of the world around us. Not only humans, but animals do the same. Each animal species sees a different color combination from all the other species, including humans. So all the birds and animals and fish and people and children and adults and all of us see the world in a different way. Each one of us has a world of his or her own. So the question is, are there so many real worlds that we see individually, or there is one world reality and we see different aspects of it, different images of it, based on the quality of our senses, based on the correctness of its interpretation, and based on the value given by mind, which often is biased. Biased by what? Biased by assumptions, definitions, belief system, likes and dislikes, what it considers good and bad. This is all about mind. So the mind gives a color. It avoids certain things. It is attracted to certain things. And it does not get a complete understanding of what the world is. And sensory perceptions are a weak link between the world and our understanding of the world. So, of course, it's good to have good senses, vision, hearing, taste, smell, touch. That's a good starting point. But we also notice that when we are in a rush, everybody seems to be going slow. When we are happy, things look better in the outside world. When we are sad or depressed, everything has a negative feeling to it. So all these are limitations. So only an empty, relaxed, calm mind is more capable of giving a more accurate interpretation of the information it receives from the brain and brain receives from the senses. So there is a cycle, there is a layer, several layers through which we know and process information and interpret it. So this is kind of the whole story. When we are relaxed and our mind is not cluttered, it is empty, then we have a better sense of the world. Even then, we only see the outer world. Every object has an inner existence. We only see the shape of trees. We don't see the roots of the trees, how the trees grow and how the trees are nurtured, how the atoms in the branches are arranged. They are a little far apart from one another. That's why wood is lighter and metal is heavier. That is why behind a wooden wall, you can hear the sound from this side a little better. But if you are behind a metal wall, then you will see the sound from this, you will hear the sound from this a little bit dimmer, because the atoms are more compact in a metal and the vibration that you hear slows down or is blocked partially. So there are lots of limitations and we need a clear, calm, relaxed mind to understand things a little better and not be biased or judgmental or preconditions or prior assumptions and definitions in knowing the world. You should be free from it. So to demonstrate this in a little bit jovial fashion, I have a few colored glasses, and each of those limitations are like a colored glass through which you see the world. So I am seeing a world which is a little bit reddish, and if I wear this glass all the time, then what happens? Then I would assume that the world is reddish in color, and one day if I suddenly remove the glass, oh my goodness, it's a different world. Which one is real, with the glasses or without the glasses? Similarly, if I wear another colored glass, my world view changes completely. Now imagine wearing such a glass from the birth throughout your life. This is the impact of your biases, of preconditioned mind, of mental agony, mental distraction and disturbance, and the impact of emotion. So to the extent you can free yourself of those limitations, you have a better chance of knowing the world as it is, or at least closer to as it is, as compared to wearing a glass and seeing the world, or a more limited world, through the colored glass. Unfortunately, this conditioning probably applies to most of us, and that is why without the glass, without the conditioning, you know the world in a more real sense, a real world rather than a world that you have created. So instead of creating individual worlds, let's live and know the real world and be in harmony. Thank you for listening. I know this was a little bit of a subtle discussion of this topic of reality versus perception, but I think if children even get a slice of this understanding and gradually grow with it, they will live and create, live in and create a better world. And that is the purpose of raising intelligent kids. Thank you for listening and watching, and we will come back soon.